Hello there. Hey, it's me, your 57th favorite YouTuber, VenMan88. It's been quite a while since my last video, but I've come back to say that I have reached 100 subscribers! Woo! It only took me like, what, a decade, but I've finally done it. Who could forget such classic videos made during this journey? Like the one where I talk about frogs for 10 minutes.
No, you're a frog. It's like, yeah.
The one where Fred Johnson sold his crappy medication.
Boost your courage today with Courage Boost.
And the one where I went to
Dunkin' Donuts, Tailgate, and Jimmy John's combination restaurant / gas station.
And most importantly, the one video I put legitimate effort into. Well, aside from these two, but we don't talk about those.
Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer had a very shiny nose. And if you ever saw it, turn it off!
To celebrate this occasion, I went to Twitter and announced I would be doing a QnA video. And you guys gave me some questions. I'll just leave it at that. So enough stalling, let's get right to it. Yeet asked, have you played any Fallout games? About a year or two ago, I did end up getting Fallout 3 New Vegas. Though admittedly, I only really played the very beginning of 3. And once I got outside the bunker, I was pretty lost and overwhelmed on what to do, and ended up getting killed by some fire ants over and over again. Eventually I'll give the games another shot, but so far I only played a little bit. Sainendix asked, if you could design art for a movie, which one would it be? I don't have anything specific in mind, but I think it'd be neat to design art for something horror or animated related. Cheese Token asked, who's a greater threat to mankind, Redditors or Twitter users? While both are certainly a threat, I definitely have to say Twitter users are worse. They'll try and cancel and ruin your life just because you have a minor yet different opinion than theirs. My friend Socks asked, smash or pass? Michael Myers, Ghostface, Jason Voorhees, and Freddy Krueger. Freddy is definitely a pass. I mean, the burnt face makes him hard to look at to begin with. And we've seen what he looks like under his sweater. I don't even want to imagine what he looks like under his pants. Jason is also a pass. No matter what version we're talking about, nothing about him is sexually appealing to me. Michael... maybe smash if he keeps on the mask and cools it with the heavy breathing. Now Ghostface, this is a tricky one. Aside from like one occurrence with the other three, several people have taken up the role of Ghostface. Though for simplicity, let's just count the original Ghostface killers, Billy and Stu. In this case, I have to say, smash to Billy and pass to Stu. I will not go into further detail why. Okay, next question. PissChamp asked, what is your favorite snack? Some of my favorite snacks include various Cheetos, Funyuns, handicapped hot fries, and Better Baked Corn Pops. Rye Bread asked, if you could permanently delete a season, which one would it be? Part of me feels like I should delete winter. I live in Michigan, so winter can be a complete nightmare sometimes, especially when it comes to driving. But despite that, I might have to delete summer instead. I hate hot and humid weather way more than cold weather. Plus, I hate all the bugs that come out during the season. I mean, sure, there used to be summer vacation, but with me being out of school and working a full-time job, the joy of summer is completely lost on me now. These next few questions are by Alice. The first one is, what's your favorite horror movie? It's tough for me to choose an all-time favorite, but if I had to choose, I'd have to go with the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre. But some of my other favorite horror movies include Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, My Bloody Valentine, Black Christmas, Return of the Living Dead, Friday the 13th Part 4 and 6, American Werewolf in London, Halloween 3, Jaws, The Hills Have Eyes remake, Child's Play, Candyman, The Shining, and many others. What got you into horror? Honestly, I've been into horror for as long as I can remember. I remember being a kid and going to places like Spirit Halloween and being weirdly fascinated by animatronics like Jason and other characters. Obviously, I wasn't allowed to watch those type of movies yet, but I still remember being big fans of horror characters. I believe the first legitimate horror movie I ever watched was Halloween 5. And while it scared me as a kid, the scariness does not hold up nowadays. Honestly, I'd say it's probably one of the worst movies in the series, but I digress. It wasn't until high school where I really got obsessed. I remember finally getting around to watching the Friday the 13th series, starting with Part 3, and I've been obsessed with the genre ever since. Best worst movie you've seen? I imagine you're referring to a movie that's so bad it's good, right? On the top of my head, I guess I'll go with Batman and Robin. It's a complete mess of a movie in several ways, but most of the things in the movie are so stupidly entertaining that I can't bring myself to hate it. I'm never bored watching the movie, and it's admittedly a big guilty pleasure of mine. Favorite horror movie killer? There's tons of great horror movie killers out there, but my favorite has usually been between Jason Voorhees and Leatherface. I love Jason because he has an iconic look and great creative kills, and Leatherface because I always found his character and the relationship to his family interesting. Also, it's intriguing to see how his personality differs throughout the series. But another kill I'm also a huge fan of, and one I find to be very underrated, is Billy from Black Christmas. Despite never truly seeing his face, he still comes across as an unsettling psychopath, and the phone calls he leaves throughout the film are honestly very disturbing. He truly deserves more recognition. Just ignore the 2006 version. Favorite creepypasta? You know, surprisingly, I never really been into creepypastas. I was definitely exposed to them back in high school, and I knew quite a lot of the more famous ones, but I never really bothered to read most of them. Also, nowadays, it's kind of hard to take most creepypastas seriously, due to them being poorly written and all the shipping art and never-ending Friday Night Funkin' mods. If I was still in high school, I probably would have said Eyeless Jack. Definitely not because of the story, hell no. The original creepypasta is very stupid. I was just more or less a big fan of his design. So much so that I decided to dress up as him for Halloween one year, but we don't talk about that. But if you were to ask me which one is my favorite now, I might have to go with the Russian sleep experiment. But that's mostly due in part because of the amazing art thread based on the story by David Romero on Twitter. I highly recommend checking out the story if you want to see some amazingly disturbing artwork. Favorite legend? I'm not sure if this technically counts, but my favorite legend is that of the Mothman. I absolutely love the Mothman. I know more about the history of the Mothman than I probably should. In fact, a couple months ago, I drove over 8 hours down to Point Pleasant, West Virginia to visit the Mothman Museum and statue. And a few days later, I went to the Mothman Festival. So yeah, you can see that the Mothman is a favorite of mine. Sly asked, why is Blade the best artist of all time? Well, unfortunately, I have not listened to much of Blade, so I can't really answer why he's the best artist. But do you know who I believe is the best artist of all time? Well, it's easy. 100 Gex. Luke asked, what is your favorite duck type? I don't normally have a favorite duck type, but when I do, it's the psychic type. My boy Falcon asked, favorite fast food place?
Oh, I can answer that. Oh my god! It's everyone's second favorite Venman 88 character, Fred Johnson! It's me, Fred Johnson, and when I'm not covering music or selling medication or commentating over Splatoon matches, I'm here answering food-related questions. And if you don't mind, Vinny boy, I'd like to answer this fast food question. Cause, you see, I'm a bit of an expert, you see?
Sure, go right ahead.
Thank you very much. Now, you see, Avocado Boy, there are many fast food places I love. Oh, which one do I like? Which one's my favorite?
Well, you're gonna have to choose one because we have a ton of questions.
Yeah. Okay, what's my favorite? You know, out of all the fast food places, I see my personal favorite is Five Guys Burgers and Fries. Oh, they have some of the best burgers out there. A little pricey, actually very pricey because I order a lot, but they are definitely worth it. The burgers, the fries, the Cajun fries. Oh, the Cajun fries. And I have not tried the milkshake yet, but I hear the milkshakes are very good. Remember the time when they used to have peanuts displayed in Five Guys? Oh, those peanuts were really good.
Are you done?
Yeah. I'm almost done. I'm almost done. But I do want to shout out Raising Cane's. Oh, everything from there tastes good. Oh, the chicken, the fries, the Texas toast, the lemonade. Oh, the sauce. Everything from there tastes good.
Okay, that's enough time. Thanks for joining.
But I want to talk about more food.
Get out of here!
It's okay.
Okay, enough of that guy. Here's some more questions. Noodle, aka Ballfard, asked, breasts or butts?
Huzzah! A question of quality.
Now in life, boobs and butts are both truly amazing. And while I do love me some big old titties, to me, nothing beats a great ass! And I want my head all the way up! I'm gonna stop. Next question. What are your thoughts on AI art as an artist? All I'll say is this. I have no issue when AI art is being used for the sake of a joke, or needing a quick reference for a pose or coloring for a drawing. That's fine with me. What I do have an issue with is people who legitimately think that AI art is the future of art. For God's sake, just because you enter a prompt into a computer over and over again does not make you a real artist. I also hate how full of themselves these people are too, and how they genuinely think that AI art is better than traditional art. Not to mention that AI art is based on the foundation of art stolen by other artists. Basically what I'm saying is that I think AI art is the new NFT craze, and I hate it. Keep one, the nation of Ecuador, or peanut butter jelly sandwiches? Oh, peanut butter jelly sandwiches easily. Come on, I'm American, why would I care what happens to other countries? I'd gladly give up the well-being of a country for an Uncrustable. Dio asked, what are your top 5 music artists and bands? Well, my all-time favorite band is Gorillaz. I have nearly all their albums on my phone, and they're really the only band I keep tabs on. But other than that, I really don't have a specific top 5 bands or artists because my music taste is kinda all over the place. but 4 random favorites of mine are Tom Waits, James Carr, The Beatles, and The Seekers. But honestly, I'll sit down and listen to anything if my ears like what they hear. Also, in case you were wondering, my favorite Gorillaz albums are between Demon Days and Saw Machine. No questions, just say something about Death Grips. Those grips sure are deathly. Random Things asked, favorite art style? Some of my favorite art styles are that of C.H. Greenblatt, Johan Vasquez, Jamie Hewlett, Amy Winfrey, Gendy Tartakovsky, Sarah Anderson, and Ian Worthington. These next few are by Bean. The first one is, what is your favorite color? I would probably say black, but that's chocolatey, not a color. So my favorite actual color would be, I don't know, purple? Yeah! If you could wear any hat for a week, what would it be?
Jarvis hat.
Favorite finger? What's the most interesting conversation you ever overheard? What kind of fucking question is that? Bean, I'm not gonna lie, your questions kinda suck. And these last few questions are by Smash Heads. The first one is, where do you see yourself in 10 years, other than drinking yourself half to death? I don't know, I can't see in the future. Who's your favorite STARS member? I don't know what that is. Ain't that the thing from Resident Evil? I don't play those games, sorry. If you could be any age again, what would it be? The age where I was actually happy. If you were in a fight with one of your OCs, who would win? Well, for starters, I'm not even going to consider fighting Gabby or any of my other horror OCs because they would definitely kill me. I feel like I stand a chance against Milton, but he's a legitimately friendly guy and I feel bad for beating him up. Billy seems like he'd be an easy victory, but we need to remember that he's a 3-foot bumblebee, and if I'm not careful, he'd probably stab me with a stainer and I'd die. Sarah?
Oh, I'd let Sarah beat me up.
So I guess the one OC of mine that I could and would willingly beat up is 3. You see, he's called 3 because he has a 3 on his face. My OC lore is complicated. And the very last question, if you had a time machine, but you could only visit one set moment in time, where or when would you go? I always thought it would be cool to go back in time to the premiere of a horror movie and witness the audience reactions. There's so many that I would love to see the reaction to, such as the unmasking of the Phantom of the original Phantom of the Opera, or the lake jump scare from the original Friday the 13th. But for now, I might go with the premiere of The Exorcist. I don't know. I think it'd be pretty fun to be within all that chaos and people passing out. And that was the last question. To end this video off, I'd like to thank everyone for watching. Thank you for all the questions, and thank you for 100 subscribers. Leave a like if you like, subscribe if you want, and comment what you thought. And I'll see you... Huh? Was that... There's more questions? From Discord? God damn it. Alright, let's go through them really quick. These next few are by Saigon. The first one is, what's a grandma's made it? Next question. If you could give a video game a movie adaptation, which would you pick and who would you cast? Oh hey, an actual question. It's the exact same question I asked Rybread in their Q&A video. This bitch. Well, after being quite surprised with the Mario movie, I'm now very interested in seeing a Luigi's Mansion movie or a Donkey Kong movie. If given the choice between the two, I'm leaning a little more towards Luigi. Charlie Day was legitimately great as Luigi, and it's a shame that he got sidelined for most of it. So I think a Luigi's Mansion movie would be great at giving him more spotlight. Also, the colors and atmosphere of the Darklands scene would be the perfect aesthetic for the movie. When it comes to casting, I think either Billy West or Richard Horvitz would be a great Professor Egad. I'm sure the studio would much rather have someone with a bigger name, but they had Kevin Michael Richardson play Kamek, so it's not completely impossible. And as for Keen Boo, I don't know, John Mulaney or Bill Hader, I feel like they'd be good as a giant creepy ghost. I don't know, I'm not that great with fan casting. But I will say this, Keith David or Clancy Brown as Ganondorf for the Zelda movie. Just putting it out there. What does Venman mean? I feel like most people would assume that Venman is a nickname based on my IRL name, Gavin, but that's not the case. Venman comes from an old character of mine called Ven. He was a character that I used to draw all the time back in middle school, alongside other members of his species. Basically, he was the Gabby before Gabby. And as for the 88, I don't know. I like the number 8, I guess. Do you plan on uploading more frequently? You know, I'd be up to making more videos. I have a couple ideas of what I'd like to do. But the thing is, I think making videos sucks! Writing scripts gives me a headache, recording audio makes me frustrated, editing is slow and time-consuming, and don't even get me started on all the images I have to save! If video making weren't so tedious, I would have made a lot more videos by now. That's where this damn video took so long to put out. And these actual last few questions are by my friend Nero, who they proceeded to ask 8 questions! God damn it! Okay, let's go through them real quick. If a mongoose and a snake had a fight, at what hour would the roosters say? What? What color are the socks that you're wearing right now? I'm not wearing socks. What are your thoughts on the state of Oklahoma? It sure is a state. What is your least favorite song? Any song made by Ed Sheeran. If a monkey had an uncle, would it be legal? What? What got you in the drawing? When I was a little kid, I randomly picked up a box of crayons and I started drawing, and the rest is history. What's your dream piece? Like art that you really want to make but need technical skill or whether it would end up being a comic show, movie, or game, one day I'd like to maybe create a horror anthology series much like Creepshow or Tales of the Crypt, where every other part would be about a different horror subgenre, hence the many horror OCs of mine. If not that, then at the very least I hope to do something with my character Gabby. She is the one OC of mine who I'm genuinely passionate about. And the last and final question, what is your favorite flavor of yogurt? Come. Okay, that's the very last question. I have no questions to ask. This video took way too long to make. This is the end of the video. Go away, fuck up, bye!